Today, I am going to give you a glimpse of how to do task 2 of the Ielts test, which is an essay. Let's take a look at this given sample question. It says here, more children in developed countries are becoming overweight. This is a serious problem for wealthy countries. Discuss some causes and effects of this problem. Okay, now, take note of these two sentences here because they form part of your background sentence. So the very first thing that you need to do is to write an introduction. Try to paraphrase the sentence by replacing words or changing the structure of the sentence. So you can do something like this. There is a growing number of children who are becoming overweight in developed nations, and this is alarming for these rich nations. So, how again do you paraphrase? You substitute words with another word, but do take note to do it in a way you don't deviate from the nuance of the vocabulary used. Second, you can change the structure of the sentence to another structure. In this case, I combined the two sentences and I made a compound sentence. After writing your background statement, you now have to deal with the main tasks of giving causes and effects. So I've got here an example. You can say this is for the causes. You can say food choice and lifestyle are the main contributors to this issue. Remember, you should not expand or you should not explain any further, as this is just the introduction paragraph. Just give the examiner of what is coming up or what is going to be in your body paragraphs. Next, you have to write a sentence that would talk about the possible effects of it. And here is an example. If left unresolved, this can lead to serious illnesses and social withdrawal in the long run. Once again, do not attempt to explain this sentence because this is just the introduction paragraph. When we put all together those three sentences, your introduction paragraph can appear like this. It should not be longer than the body paragraph. Ideally, it should only have three sentences or four sentences would do, but not too much because that might lead you to writing sentences that would explain and it's not good in the introduction paragraph. Now, whatever cause or causes you have dropped or mentioned in your introduction paragraph would be the thing that you're going also to expand or to discuss in your first body paragraph. So let's take a look at this example which I made. You can say, rich nations have abundant fast food restaurants that unquestionably cater to the taste buds of every children. Of every child. These are popular for their daily promotions that are packed with sugary drinks and upsized portion sizes of their products. So you just have to expand or expound about the main cause, which you already mentioned previously in your introduction paragraph. You cannot discuss another thing which you didn't introduce in your introduction. So um, you can also give an example. So it would appear like this. For instance, a single serving of KFC's dinner set alone can already take half or all of their required daily calorie intake, depending on the exercise they add to it. Being sedentary is yet another factor that causes a very young population to become overweight. Remember or take note, I already dropped the second cause, which I already mentioned also in the introduction paragraph. And go ahead, just expand that a little bit, say something like this. As developed nations become more automated, there is almost nothing left for children to do at home that would make them burn calories, so they turn instead to gaming online. As a result, their unused calories are stored as body fats, which explains the extra weight in them. Now, have you or can you see those two causes that we already earlier mentioned, and they are just being expanded or explained further in your first body paragraph? Whenever possible, write a higher vocabulary, but not necessarily highfalutin, as highfalutin words would do more harm if they are not used appropriately. So that ends this presentation about how to write the introduction paragraph and the first body paragraph of Task 2 in Ielts test. The second body paragraph and the conclusion will be dealt with in another presentation. At this point, you could have already or probably noticed that I have made use or used of varied sentence structures, but I have yet to proofread like this work in order to put passive and perfect tenses, and that is the reason why you should leave 10 minutes so that you can go over your work and add necessary things to meet the criteria of having like passive sentences and also um, passive sentences and perfect tenses.